You promise yourself you'll finish tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week, and the life you wanted becomes the life you tolerate. Why keep betraying yourself? It happens in small moments. The workout gets skipped, the project gets abandoned, the hard conversation gets delayed. Quitting gives immediate relief, but the deeper cost is learning that your own promises mean nothing. That lesson follows you into your next decision. Soon, relief becomes easier than commitment. Stoicism challenges the idea that you need more motivation. Epictetus focused on governing your choices, not waiting for the right feeling. The problem is not a lack of desire. You have trained yourself to obey discomfort. That training can be reversed, but first you must understand what quitting rewards. The relief feels harmless, yet it quietly teaches you to escape whenever effort becomes emotionally expensive. That is where self-command begins in practice. When work becomes difficult, you tell yourself you'll continue when you feel focused or inspired. That quietly makes emotion your commander. The moment discomfort appears, the agreement changes. The Stoic alternative is simple. Decide what deserves to be done, then separate that decision from how you feel while doing it. Your mood can report discomfort. It does not get the final vote. Imagine opening the laptop after a long shift. You promised yourself 30 minutes. 10 minutes in, the work feels pointless. The old pattern says, enough. The disciplined response is to complete the next defined action before reconsidering. Every completed promise becomes evidence that you can direct yourself. But sometimes quitting is not about discomfort. Sometimes you quit because finishing would force you to confront who you really are, and that is harder to admit than simple laziness. The real test begins there. A man can become attached to the relief of stopping. Pressure rises, he walks away, and tension disappears. That relief teaches him that escape works. This is where identity enters. When you repeatedly abandon difficult things, you begin predicting your own retreat. You start projects cautiously because part of you already expects failure. You call it realism. Often, it is memory. Stoicism places character above temporary comfort. Marcus Aurelius returns to the duty of doing the work appropriate to your role, whether it feels pleasant or not. Some goals should be abandoned when they are irrational or no longer worthy. The danger is quitting merely because the experience became uncomfortable. So ask a harder question. Is this still worth doing? If yes, discomfort loses its authority. But then another question appears. What if your real problem is not quitting tasks, but quitting on yourself? You may think finishing means proving that you are tough. It is deeper than that. Finishing is a vote for the kind of person you trust yourself to be. The enemy is impulsive surrender, abandoning something valuable because the moment became unpleasant. Picture the moment you are tempted to quit. Your mind says, "You've done enough, start Monday." The story feels true because it offers relief. Interrupt it with one question. What is required right now? Maybe it is 10 more minutes, one page, one call, one set, or one honest conversation. Shrink the action without shrinking the standard. Complete what is in front of you. Over time, you stop needing confidence before action. You act, then confidence follows from evidence. The man who finishes is not the man who never feels resistance. He is the man who stops treating resistance as a command. The goal is not to destroy the part of you that feels weak. It is to stop letting that impulse govern your judgment. When the alarm rings, get up because you already decided. When the workout becomes painful, adjust when necessary. But do not automatically escape. When the project becomes boring, remember that boredom is not evidence that the work has lost value. Stoic discipline means controlling the decision you can control, accepting discomfort you cannot remove, and keeping attention on the action directly in front of you. And when you fail, do not turn one broken promise into an identity. If you quit today, restart today, no waiting for Monday. Rebuild self-trust by creating new evidence. Make the next promise small enough to keep and serious enough to matter, then keep it when nobody is watching. Repetition turns intention into character, again today. That is why quitting can feel empty even when nobody else cares. You know what happened. You watched yourself choose relief over principle. Stoicism offers a standard. Your worth does not depend on completing every ambition. It depends on sound judgment and action according to principle. Sometimes that means continuing. The difference is whether reason made the decision or discomfort did. When you reach the moment where you usually quit, ask, am I changing course because this is wrong or because this is hard? If it is wrong, leave deliberately. If it is hard and still worthy, stay. That is how you become the man who finishes, not someone who never struggles, but someone whose decisions are no longer controlled by temporary discomfort. Eventually, the hardest thing will not be finishing. It will be remembering that you were ever the man who walked away.